Hi, Kagiso. Compliments of the season to you and very well bowled today. Is it fair to say that kind of your experience came through today, that it was a sort of pitch where if you put it in the right areas often enough, there was enough assistance there, and you just stayed in that area the whole day?
Yeah, I think that's what you try to do on any pitch that you play on. Get the ball in the right area. Yeah, that's all I tried to do today.
Thanks. So here?
Can you break it down though for us? That you haven't played red ball cricket in a really long time. You had a bit of a heel injury, if I'm not mistaken. How do you just rock up and take 5 wickets on Boxing Day? What processes do you go through to do that?
Yeah, I was pretty focused in my training. I knew what I wanted to get out of my training, but I think days like that happen in cricket, where sometimes you get the ball in the right area and you're not so successful. And today was just my day. Sometimes it just happens that way, but I'm pretty happy with the way that I bowled.
Okay, you just and the rest of the lineup, are you happy with the way they went? You think India maybe got away from you guys a little bit?
India, the quality batting lineup, with quite a bit of experience in their batting lineup. So 200 for 8, we would have taken that before the game started, and especially because we sent them into bat, we're happy with that. The other guys, Gerald, Nandre, and Marco, I think that they're magnificent bowlers. They're wicket takers. They've proven it. Nandre today, in his debut, picking up 2 quick ones as well. They have X factor about them, and bowling on a pitch like that is definitely going to assist them. The nice thing about Test cricket is they can have a second crack at it. All in all, I didn't think we bowled badly, but I think there is room for improvement.
So when you bowled as well as you did today, does your body tell you that this is going to be a good day, or is there something in your mind, or is there some signal you get from yourself that, okay, today it's going to work?
All week the ball's been coming out nicely. So I came into the match quite confident. And I'm just glad that all the focused work, the hard work paid off. So yeah, my body was feeling good coming in. My mind was feeling good coming into this Test series. So hopefully can continue.
Firdous?
Hi KG, the Indian batting coach was talking about them being very aware of this plan to maybe try and get a few wickets down leg side, and I suppose we saw that with some of the field placings. Can you just talk about that in terms of the strategies of that type of bowling and even the lengths that you guys employed today?
Yeah, seeing that we have 2 left-armers in our attack, generally trying to swing the ball in, and with the bounce that you could extract out of the wicket. It seemed like that was a tactic to go at a time, but then after lunch we readjusted and looked to bowl channel. Mainly what would happen is Temba at the time, when he was still on, would have a gut feel about how the best way to get a wicket is, and normally it's the captain and the bowler who would be in those sort of discussions. But I guess it did make sense to have the leg slip. It almost worked to Virat as well, getting caught at he got dropped at square leg. So at the time it's more of a gut feel thing to see how's the best way to get a wicket. But yeah, as you saw after lunch, we had to change tactics.
Considering the fact that the day was dominated by the bowlers, how do you describe KL Rahul's innings, the way he batted?
Yeah, I thought he played well. He had a solid defense, and he also attacked us. His options were good. He's a good player. He's done it time and time again for India. And there's always going to be a batter who's going to stand out in an innings, and he was that for India.
And following on that, do you think that the same kind of assistance is expected on the day 2 as well?
I don't know. What do you think? Well, maybe. Let's see.
Any further questions, Stu?
Kagiso, does it add to the expectation you have of yourself when you turn up and conditions are the way they are, with the pitch going to be helpful, overhead conditions, that you now expect, no, I've got to go out there and take 3, 4, or as you do today, 5.
I think I've always had that expectation to myself to bowl well. Right from the moment I started playing for South Africa, all I wanted to do is get wickets and be the best, or just do a job for the team. So nothing's changed over the years. My job is to bowl and get wickets, and it's not. I don't think the expectation is a burden. I don't think it's some heavy expectation that I have to do it. But I do put pressure on myself. I've always put pressure on myself, but in a good way, to do well for any team that I play for, in this case South Africa, and take wickets.
Yeah, Kagiso, almost 9 years for South Africa, very close to 300 test wickets, but 500 wickets done for South Africa. So how do you feel about it?
Say again?
Close to 300 test wickets, but 500 wickets done for South Africa, including T20 and ODIs.
Oh,
so how
yes.
do you feel about it?
Oh, yes. So the question is, how do I feel about it? How do I feel about that? Yeah, look, milestones are great, and that's why we play. When you're young, you want to become the best, and stats are a description of how you play. They are a metric that measure your quality, but at the end of the day, you can't be too stats orientated. It's literally just about, you probably hear it all the time, you're going through your processes, and whatever happens next is out of your control. But yeah, hopefully I can get many more wickets for South Africa.
KG, you're getting a lot of love from Castle Corner there, and they had some cool tunes going for you. We don't play a lot of test cricket at home in South Africa. Just what would that feel like to be in front of your home crowd, and it was like a full house, just that kind of vibe?
Yeah, we love it. It's cricket, summer vibes in South Africa. Cricket season is always awesome. Yeah, the guys come out and they absolutely love it. I'm not sure how many beers they were down, but I'm pretty sure they were down quite a few. Yeah, they're just having a great time at the cricket, and it's just so lovely to see. And yeah, I had to pinch myself at a stage because it was basically a packed house. And the last time we played a test match against the West Indies, but before that we played against India, and there was literally no one in the stands. And then the West Indies came, and it was nowhere near half full, and now it was basically sold out basically. So it's great to see festive season in South Africa is fantastic, and I felt that vibe in the stadium.
KG, that beauty you got Virat Kohli out with, that must rank up there with one of your most memorable test deliveries, certainly.
Yeah, they just swung away late. And for some reason, he just seems to cover those. Most of the time, he seems to just play and miss, or just cover that channel. He's a fantastic player. So when you play against him, you really have to be on. So I'm glad I got the fainty there. Yeah, I'm just glad I got the fainty.
Thanks. So here to conclude.
Mark, you spoke about the youngsters they have X factor, and we've seen particularly someone like Marco put in explosive performance, but he just seems to be a little bit flatter than usual. Does you, as the senior bowler in the side, is part of your job just to go put an arm around it and tell him it's going to be all right? Or have you done that? Yeah,
100%. That's what you do in a team environment. You want to encourage each other, and certainly with Marco, it's just about getting him firing at his best again. And playing cricket, year in, year out, it's very, very challenging, especially as a bowler playing at the highest level, because your intensity has to be up like all the time. With all the traveling mixed into that, it can be very, very exhausting. And sometimes when things are not going your way, you just have to ride it out and keep finding a way. And that's what he's doing. He's still doing a great job. And when he's on song, you know what he can do. So it's not far away. The wheel turns. It's not far away.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you, KG, for joining us today. See you guys tomorrow.